The research I did is quantitative because it's numerical, as I was trying to find out the percentages of shots scored in basketball and netball, which are all shot from 5 feet out. It's easier to use numbers when doing research because there's no error or very little error. But in qualitative research, the chance of for error is much higher because it involves things like asking participants, which is easier. This could therefore be inaccurate as one of the reasons I didn't carry out qualitative research. It is easy to recall the number of points scored in basketball and netball, but if the research I did was qualitative, it would include just asking people which one is easier, so therefore less reliable. So overall, this is why I've chosen quantitative research and recorded the amount of points scored in both. At the beginning, I made a hypothesis, and this data is going to help me prove the hypothesis. My hypothesis is that more people will have a higher percentage in basketball because there is a backboard and the rim is much bigger. I chose the experimental research design because it explores the effects that the kind of hoop has on the percentage of the shot. The independent variable is the type of hoop, and the dependent variable is accuracy of the 5 shots everyone took. The control variable was the type of ball used and the distance away from the hoop we shot. We needed to use the control variables to make the test as fair as possible. The reason this was good was because it was able to make the test as reliable as possible. I chose lab-based testing for this experiment because I controlled all of the variables. I didn't want to do a field test for this experiment because that will require a game situation where lots of other external factors would come into play. For example, if a defender blocks a shot or the shots are from a different distance. This would decrease the reliability of my data collection. The reasons here is why I've done the lab-based tests. They are more reliable in trying to find out the aim of this investigation that I carried out. I've chosen inferential statistics because it tests the relationship or differences between data sets. So in this investigation, it will be the differences and similarities of the hoop in basketball and netball and the percentage of shots that go in for both. For example, there should be a higher percentage of shots that go in with the basketball hoop because of the difference in size, and the hoop will allow more error for the shot to actually go in. This test is a parametric and is a null hypothesis because there is no relationship or no significant difference between the two or more variables or groups. This is an independent t-test because I'm trying to figure out if there is a significant difference between the results and percentage of basketball and netball hoops. This is appropriate because the group that carried out the shots were all the same people to ensure that the skill set was the exact same for both tests. The reason for this being used was to remain fair throughout the whole test. I collected this data by making 16 people shoot 5 times on each hoop. I did this because I wanted to ensure that the skill set was the same throughout to ensure the results were as accurate as possible. I converted each athlete's shots made, each athlete's shots scored into percentages for both hoops. To make sure that accuracy and precision is the best possible, I used the same athletes and only changed the hoop. The accuracy of the test was as good as possible because I recorded everyone's shot the exact same way. For example, I didn't give anyone second chances to improve their score, as it would have affected the accuracy of the test. The precision of this research was also good because I made the athletes do the exact same thing for both hoops, with no exceptions. The reason quantitative research is better for the tests I'm carrying out is it is much more reliable. Reliability is one of the most important is one of the biggest positives for quantitative data because as long as I ensure to carry out the test correctly, it will be more reliable. The reason my research choice is better than mixed methods is because I only want to find out the statistics and percentages of the shots in each hoop. If I wanted to do mixed methods, I could ask coaches what they think is easy to score in, or what they would recommend for beginners and for a beginner athlete. But that was tailing off my hypothesis and what I was trying to find out. Another reason I chose quantitative research as the correct decision is because it is easier to generalize and easier to carry out in a big group. So when I had a group of 16, it was quick and easy to do this kind of research while still remaining accurate and precise.